Dear students, today I am going to give you a brief peep into the world of Raja Ravi Verma's art, who have captivated the Indian populace for more than a century and who was considered as the father of Western Indian painting. While studying Raja Ravi Verma's art, some common and general questions which often come to our mind are such as: who was Raja Ravi Verma? Where was he born? What was his contribution towards Indian painting, and who brought lithographic printing press to India? In the early part of the 20th century, India, under the colonial rule and the policy of its rulers, saw a trend in Indian art which lacked direction, and it was in search of the Indian art renaissance of its own, as there were conflicting trends with traditional Indian painting on the one side and European painting on the other side. But at this juncture, there existed a crop of very talented and creative native artists such as Raja Ravi Verma, Abhinandendranath Tagore, Gaganendranath Tagore and Nandlal Bose, who made commendable efforts to achieve a breakthrough in style which have all the sensibilities of the Indian ethos, yet the approach was Western in style and medium. Raja Ravi Verma was one of the first Indian artists who tried to give a sense of direction to the art movement of the country and create confidence in the traditional values and rich Indian heritage at the time of our identity crisis and confusion. He was the star painter of the late 19th century, who created a large body of paintings, drawings, watercolors and oleographs that are Western in style and medium but Indian in theme. He painted mainly on the lines of British academic tradition and also developed his own idea of ideal beauty in poetic elan. A member of the ruling family of Kerala, he subscribed to the ethos of his class. He glorified the national, the mythical and the religious. He was the pioneer painter who practiced European oil painting technique, having complete understanding of perspective, chiaroscuro, light and shade, compositional expertise, three-dimensional rendering and mastery over painting of frontal portraiture. His most poignant artistic contribution towards Indian painting is that he vehemently strived hard to give human face to the gods and goddesses of Indian epics. And furthermore, he is the first painter who brought lithographic printing press to India for reproducing his paintings in the form of prints and oleographs, so that his works could reach the houses of the common man, and thereby he started an artistic revolution of its own kind. Raja Ravi Verma was the first painter who introduced lithographic color printing to India and to the Indian populace. Lithographic color painting, or you can say oleography. Oleography is an art in which the pictures on the paintings are printed by using oil colors instead of printing inks, and with the method of chromolithography, which is known as color lithography. Chromo means color, lithography means a process of printing prints with the help of stone such as soapstone. It was due to Raja Ravi Verma that he gave birth, or he is also known as the founder of Indian calendar art, which is popular till today. Calendars of the paintings of Raja Ravi Verma, such as his paintings of gods and goddesses, the Keralite people, the portraits of the people, their culture, their traditions, their festivals and so on. Some of the paintings of Raja Ravi Verma were also revered or worshipped by the people as their traditional icons, such as the goddess Lakshmi, Saraswati and so on. His paintings have such a divine spell on the onlooker that one can see that his paintings full of mystic charm, a peaceful atmosphere and divine manifestations, including the traditional Indian iconography. According to renowned art historian Ashok Mitra, Ravi Verma was the first introducer of revivalist painting. He had an urge to see differently and therefore draws differently, and with that urge to feel, see and act patriotically and bringing painting to the service of Swadeshi and nationalism. Now we are going to discuss his birth and artistic career. Ravi Verma was born on 29th April 1848 at Travancore, Kerala, to the most important feudal families of Travancore, the southernmost kingdom of India. His family held a small territory at Killimanur, a place 50 kilometers north of Tiruvananthapuram. Although Ravi Verma belonged to the warrior caste, warfare and military prowess in his family had long been a thing of the past. The fine arts and music were the accomplishments that several members of the large feudal household sought. Sanskrit scholars, poets and musicians to be found amongst his close relations. His maternal uncle Raja Verma was a painter of great repute, from whom he learnt the art of painting initially. Ravi Verma grew up at the Travancore court, where his artistic instincts were honed by the beautiful illustrated books and magazines on European art. Soon he was trying his hand over the usual genres, painting miniature portraits of the royal personalities of the court of Travancore. He learnt watercolor painting from the court artist Rama Swami Naidu. Later on, Ravi Verma learned the technique of European oil painting from Theodore Genser, British portrait painter of Danish origin, who came to the Travancore court for seeking portrait commissions. Jensen was asked to allow Ravi Verma to observe him at work and learn from him. It is said that Jensen let Ravi Verma watch him at work, but for one reason or the another did not actively teach him to paint. In 1868, Ravi Verma became a painter in his own right. He was recognized as a painter, an artist, but his aristocratic family background always come in the way of his becoming a wholly professional painter. He also keenly observed the works of nature, used his skills in selecting and carefully digesting, methodizing and comparing his perceptions and observations. Ravi Verma broadly followed the technique of British tradition, then being promoted to India and endeavored to attain dexterity in imitating objects. He also studied the works and style of the local traditions belonging to the Tanjore school, as his early paintings have some influences of Tanjore art, figures frontally depicted, adorned with jewels and all the paraphernalia of caste and status. Ravi Verma so well understood, indeed far better than the European painters of that time, whose gimmicks and treatment of drapery he soon mastered and was able to handle it with equal felicity. Although he revealed influences of Raphael, Vermeer, David, Ingres and Manet, but he did not solely depend upon his influences. He did maximum work at the town of Mavalikara, where still his school, Mavalikara School of Fine Arts, existed. He also worked as a highly professional paid decorator for the newly erected palaces in Mysore, Killimanur, Pudukkottai and Bhavnagar. For the decoration of palace in Mysore, he was asked to paint a whole series of religious mythological pictures depicting scenes from national epics. Shakuntala was one of the favorite subject matter of Raja Ravi Verma's art, from which he transformed several of his dramatic sequences into paintings. In 1890, he was a celebrity whose signature was a trademark of art. His academic skills were duly recognized when in 1891 he was conferred with a prestigious award for his painting titled Sarandari by the Bombay Art Society. He also got the President's or the Governor's Gold Medal in 1873. He became the world famous Indian painter after winning in 1873 at the Vienna exhibition. Ravi Verma represented India at the World Columbian Exhibition in Chicago in 1893, one of the grandest international expositions of the late 19th century. In 1904, he was awarded with Kaiser-i-Hind Award, until then which has been solely reserved for the persons of industry and trade. He was greatly patronized by Sayaji Rao Gaikwad of Baroda and other noble persons of the ruling states. He also made portraits of the kings or patrons of Mysore, Baroda and Udaipur, along with the portraits of European governors like Viceroy Lord Curzon in 1902, Prince of Wales Edward VII and Prince of Wales George V. In 1894, Raja Ravi Verma founded lithographic color printing press at Bombay, and which was known as Ravi Verma Fine Arts Lithographic Printing Press, where millions and millions copies of his paintings along with the religious icons were published and printed. It was with that sheer number of the prints produced and distributed by this press that Ravi Verma discovered or introduced a new pan-Indian iconography. His pioneering printing expertise has made him the father of modern mass communication in India. He was the pioneer who introduced oleography printing to India, which is an art or process of printing pictures by oil colors with a method called chromolithography, and he produced his own paintings in bewitching oleographs. It is only through these oleographic reproductions that his paintings attracted a large audience, which are look-alikes of his original works. Raja Ravi Verma breathed his last on 2nd October 1906. Now we are going to discuss the subject matter of Raja Ravi Verma's paintings. Raja Ravi Verma was greatly influenced or inspired by Hindu mythology, great Indian epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. His works consisted of religious paintings, mythological scenes, paintings of Hindu gods and goddesses, patrons, portraits and the portraits of European governors, landscapes and paintings based on literary sources. Nal and Damayanti, Shantanu and Matsyagandha, Shantanu and Ganga, Radha and Madhava, Shri Krishna and Devaki, Arjun and Subhadra, Draupadi Vastraharan, Harishchandra and Taramadi, Vishwamitra and Menka, Sita's Swambaram, Young Bharat with the loin cub, the birth of Shri Krishna, Kichaka and Sarandari are some of his important paintings. Now we are going to discuss the classification of Raja Ravi Verma's paintings. Raja Ravi Verma's paintings can be classified into three categories. Number 1, portraits. Second, portrait-based compositions. Number 3rd, theatrical compositions based on myths and legends. Now, the important paintings of Raja Ravi Verma: Amma Thampurati, Decking the Bride, Rama Vanquishing the Proud Ocean, Sarandhari, Mohini, Damayanti, Saraswati, Lakshmi, a woman holding a fruit, Lady in Moonlight, and Ravana kidnapping Sita. Description of important and prominent paintings of Raja Ravi Verma. Number 1, Saraswati. Saraswati is the goddess of music and learning, and her Vahana is swan. But in his painting, Raja Ravi Verma painted a beautiful peacock standing at her feet and listening to the veena being played by her. She is shown simply clad in a white sari. In her other hand, she is holding two things, one a mala and a small book representing or symbolizing knowledge, divine and spiritual. She is shown sitting on a rock on the banks of a river. There is serenity and calm atmosphere in the surroundings. The color palette chosen by the artist is full of harmonious and pleasing color schemes. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth and riches and a consort of Lord Vishnu. Here she is shown standing on a lotus flower and holding in her two hands two lotus flowers. She is simply clad in a red sari with golden borders, simply symbolizing the riches and wealth. A white elephant is shown in the background, just swimming in the river flown by, and is offering a garland of flowers to the goddess. There is a glimpse of approaching dusk, and the clouds are shown floating lazily. The whole atmosphere presents an atmosphere of calm and joy. Damayanti. Damayanti is the heroine from the Sanskrit play Nal and Damayanti, who falls in love with the king Nal. Here, two women are shown on a sunlit terrace. One woman is shown standing and is holding a peacock feather fan, and the other woman is shown standing with her hand resting under her head. Her head is resting on her hand and her eyes are shown gazing at an object far away. The other woman was in deep consolation and concern. Both the women are shown draped in Maharashtrian style sari. Lady in Moonlight, it is one of the remarkable paintings by Raja Ravi Verma, in which a woman is draped in deep red sari and is shown sitting in a relaxed mood. She is shown engaged in some deep thought and contemplation, holding her sari's pallu with her hand. Her other hand rests on her lap. There is a dramatic glow of light in the moonlit sky, which is reflected on the water of the river which is flown by. This picture represents a sense of mystery and enigma on her face. The surroundings are full of romantic charm. A woman holding a fruit. It is a very mysterious painting by Raja Ravi Verma, in which a woman is shown holding a fruit in her hand. She is lost in deep sense of thought and contemplation. Her eyes are dreamy and she is gazing at an unknown object. Dark background represents mystery seeped in deep solace. Now we are going to discuss some of the important characteristics of Raja Ravi Verma's paintings. Ravi Verma's paintings possess their own enigmatic splendor and mystic charm. He deliberately modified the poetic exaggerations of the national epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. He did not copy nature too closely, as he must have realized that by mere copier of nature, he could never produce anything to win the heart of a viewer. In his paintings, the moral got precedence over everything, including the stylistic expression. He found his models both thematic and stylistic in French neoclassicism. His art contained messages of very high moral order, tailored to suit the quest for national identity in every sphere of Indian life. Although Ravi Verma is known to have used models, but he did not copy models as too closely. He provides familiar faces to both the religious and the divine mythological characters from the epics, and the likenesses of which are accepted for reverence and even worshipped. Ravi Verma was successful in reintroducing Indian themes as national ideals. Instead of endeavoring to amuse the viewer with a minute neatness, he attempted in his paintings to convey his ideas in broad perspective. He gained popularity by reaching out to the people by painting the themes which were known to them and infusing the same with the same philosophical and poetic quality. His art, in that sense, is greatly appreciated both by the common man and the enlightened one. Instead of superficially appeasing the viewer, he strove to captivate his imagination. He had his own idea of ideal beauty and sought to create an image which he conceptualized in his mind from literary sources. His portraits have hybrid features of European and Indian look. He also depicted in his paintings Keralite culture. He is known for his numerous exquisite paintings of elegant and shapely sari-clad women. He is considered as a modern among the traditionalists and a rational among the modernists. With oil paints, Ravi Verma created lustrous textures and subtle shades of complexions. An illusionist painting as a medium of storytelling was his invention. He cleverly picked for particularly touching stories and moments from the Sanskrit classics. In conclusion, we can say that Raja Ravi Verma's contribution towards Indian painting is so profound and prolific that no artist of his time could ever compare well with his creative spirit, enterprising spirit and versatility in promotion of Indian subject matter, which was reintroduced in new incarnations to the Indian audience with a touch of enchanting spells of aesthetic beauty as well as divine manifestations. He made these superb creations available to the vast populace of India, which are available to them in eye-catching and multicolored prints which are popular till today and are prized possessions of the art connoisseurs in the world. In the end, we can say that Raja Ravi Verma is known as the father of Western style Indian painting as well as a father of modern mass communication in India. Thank you.